I don't gamble.
All right. Welcome back to the playoff predictions. I'm Jake Berry, along with Joey Calvillo and Kevin Nato. Interesting things are occurring. We're going to be done with the season, and we're going to be in the playoffs. We're going to look at the teams that are making the playoffs according to Texas football. Matt Stepp. So let's take a look at it. We'll start right now. We're going to do it real quick. This won't be very long. Let me pull this up real quick. All right. First game on the docket is... Okay, you can see me. I'm just making sure. All right. First game on the docket is Laredo United at McAllen Memorial. Okay, that's who they would have. If the scenario was this way, Laredo United would play at McAllen Memorial. I gotta imagine McAllen Memorial would be the favorite in that game.
Yeah, McAllen Memorial.
Memorial.
They get over the by-district hump.
Okay, next game, Edinburgh North would travel to play Harlingen. This would be big school if Harlingen won. So remember Harlingen and San Benito. But I think Los Fresnos is depends on Los Fresnos also, because Los Fresnos would be a big school.
Yeah,
So,
they'd probably be the second big school. They'd be
Yeah.
the D1 behind Harlingen.
Yeah. So right now I think they have Edinburgh North as a big school, Harlingen as a big school. So La Jolla versus San Antonio Southwest. That's a tough game for La Jolla, but you made the playoffs, so that's good. Who do you guys have in that game?
I would pick San Antonio.
Yeah.
San Antonio, yeah.
All right, Los Fresnos versus PSG North. So we're talking big school versus big school. If Los Fresnos makes it in, PSG North would be the second big school. So they would face off with Los Fresnos, which would be the... PSG North would be the number one big school.
Yeah.
And they would play Los Fresnos. So that's a great game for a first round game.
Yeah, if Bo Adams is going to be getting checked up this week, if he works his way into the lineup and is ready for the playoff game, he can give PSG North a shot. That opens up their offense, but we go with the Raiders.
The way I think about 32-6A is very different, I guess, than most people. I think you have so many talented teams in 32-6A that you forget that they're just beating each other up. So you look at their record and you say they're playing talented team after talented team after talented team. And then you have Brownsville Red as homecoming, and then you have talented team.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes a big difference when you see Los Fresnos versus PSG North, who in reality that 31-6A is not as strong as your 32-6A. So you'd have to go with Los Fresnos and saying Los Fresnos is gonna run all over PSG North, no matter who's in the backfield.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, jeez, I've got everything open up on my computer. Next one, small schools, McAllen versus Del Rio. And that would be a first round game at Del Rio. Tough trip for them. Del Rio wins the number one team.
Yeah, I really seriously doubt that Mac High will make it in. Because there's scenarios, right, that they may not.
Yeah.
So if they do make it in and they face Del Rio's...
Yeah, Del Rio.
Yeah.
All right, Laredo United South versus Palmview. Laredo United South beat Harlingen. There you go.
Yeah, South. United South.
Yeah. Here's an interesting one. Edinburgh at San Benito. I'm not kidding. It's not really that interesting. San Benito would win that one. However, if Los Fresnos doesn't make it in, switches everything around. San Benito goes big school, and that makes everything a lot different. So if Westaco beats Los Fresnos, let me just point this out to you. All right, they play Westaco East, which is a more winnable game if you're going to look at that.
Well, let's look at the scenarios. I have 4 down, and correct me if I'm wrong on this. So the first scenario I have is Hannah beats East, Westaco beats Los Fresnos. That ends up San Benito being 1, Harlingen being 2, Westaco High being 3, and Los Fresnos being 4. That's scenario number 1. Scenario number 2, if Hannah beats East by 13 points or less, or 14 points or more, there's a scenario there. If Los Fresnos beats Westaco, okay, San Benito is number 1, Harlingen is number 2, Los Fresnos is 3, and in Westaco East, if they lost by fewer than 13, will be 4. Westaco High, if they beat East, Hannah that is, by more than 14, Westaco High is in.
give you this face because it's just, that's a lot of numbers.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's so confusing within that district. The best scenario is this: East beats Hannah, and Los Fresnos beats Wesco High. That makes it totally simple. And you have San Benito 1, Harlingen 2, East 3, and Wesco. Los Fresnos 3, East and 4. And that would make it simple. But we've seen things be complicated before. And there's still one more scenario, but Jake.
Yeah. You want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because there's so many.
Yeah,
we
there's
can't
a lot.
cover. We'll spend an hour here covering the scenarios.
Okay, so moving on to the 5As. Lopez versus Laredo Nixon. Sorry. You had a great season. You made the playoffs, and that's a great run. Laredo Nixon will win that game. And that's if that happens. Mission Vets. Oh, sorry, you guys.
Nixon's one.
Mission Vets versus Brownsville Vets. Awesome matchup right there. For me personally, Brownsville Vets.
I think Brownsville Vets is going to win that one too. They're way too strong.
Yeah, I take Mission Vets in a shootout.
Oh, it's going to be a shootout.
It's gonna be a shootout.
Because Mission Vets doesn't play D.
Yeah.
So, no offense. Like, it's just that's the way it's been this year. Sherryland versus Mercedes. It's a rematch of last year's game where Mercedes was the top seed and they got beat by Sherryland at home. So this year it'll be at Mercedes.
Mercedes.
This
Yeah.
is the year they do it.
Sherryland.
Just because.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Give me my money. All right. Ed Count Chelsea versus Pioneer.
I think this is the most interesting game in the playoffs, right out of the gate. The fact of what Pioneer has done this year, what they have done with signature wins against all these different teams, whoever may be against. It's kind of, again, you get that little brother versus big brother, an established school who has that mighty tradition, the senior quarterback with the up-and-coming Pioneer Diamondbacks. I'd go with Pioneer.
Okay, so you know that this Ed Cachosa team is a different team when it comes to playoffs.
Absolutely.
So I'm not, as much as I like Pioneer and I think they're having a great season, I don't think they're going to overcome Ed Cachosa.
It depends where the game's played.
I
He plays the
think-
Black Hole in the
they're
lose time and stuff like that. I give the advantage to Ed Couch. But if it's at Pioneer, Sherryland, Richard Thompson Stadium, I give it to Pioneer.
I don't even think that, Jake. I think they're tougher in the Black Hole, but I still think that because of the mentality of the coaching staff, they're going to get their team ready, and they've been there before so many times that I think Ed Cachosa will take over.
The game on the Sherryland Pioneer Twitter page is saying it's going to be at Donna.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be
They're going
neutral
neutral. That's
site.
what you do with your ticket. All right, both teams. All right.
Hey, but real quick,
They did like you in Sheridan, by the way.
Yeah.
real quick though, Pioneer's defense is playing at an extremely high level. So that could be a
Normally,
difference.
you think Pioneer, you think Sherryland, you think, I drink tea like this, and, and this seems actually kind of gritty. Yeah, they're gritty. They can actually pop you in the face. I like this team. I actually think they're, defensively, they got, they shut out teams in the second half. They played really well in the second half. So, Ed Cachosa, the offense hasn't been there consistently this year. So, I give the edge to Pioneer.
Don't get me wrong about Pioneer. I think Pioneer's a very good team, but I think Ed Cachosa in the playoffs is just a totally different team. I really do.
All right, moving on, because I've got to do work. Rockport Fulton versus Gruya.
I saw Rockport Fulton 7-on-7. They got a ton of athletes.
It's a very tough first round game.
Yeah, and that's sad to say because they have such a great season.
Mm-hmm.
You think it's you'd hope that they take it to the next level, but they're going to lose in that game.
Yeah, you have to remember these rounds they don't have cupcakes. They got to go play up north teams right away, so it's harder for them. Lavernia versus La Feria is the battle of the laws. I'm going to go with La Feria.
Lavernia, they're traditionally tough.
Yeah, as much as I want to pick La Feria,
Yeah.
they're going to end up losing.
Sinton versus Rio Hondo.
Ooh, interesting.
I'm going to pick Rio Hondo.
I think Rio
I think Rio Hondo's strong.
Yeah, Real Hondo's good. They're good on defense, and they're all a lot, juniors on that football team. Real Hondo's a real deal.
All right, Sweeney versus PI.
Yeah, too. I think
Or
they're
Isabel.
going to make a push.
The Silva
Deep.
Bullet.
Yeah, they're gonna make a push deep this year.
La Villa versus Refugio, the last game.
Not Refugio.
Refugio.
Yeah, Refugio. If you haven't seen them, maybe ESPN. They're that good. All right, so that's our picks right now. There are playoff predictions. Excuse me. Check back at the end of next week.
On Monday. When you
On
do-
Monday.
Yeah.
So as we go over the playoff predictions and who's going where, all that good stuff, we'll be back on Monday at 7:30. Peace.